This is the answer key to the February 4th DUNA/classwork for Accelerated 6. Shade the grid that represents the ratio 2/5, find the percent equivalent. So 2/5 percent means out of 100, I made it out of 100, multiply top and bottom terms both by 20. 40/100 is 40%, so I shaded 40%. 14/25, turn that into the percent equivalent. So I made it out of 100, multiply top and bottom terms both by 4. 56/100, which is 56%. And then in the grid, I shaded 56 out of the 100. So that's 5 rows and 6 of the next. Use the benchmark fraction that will help you find the equivalent percent of the ratio 7/10. So 7/10, if I look on the list, it comes from the benchmark 1/10. 1/10 times 7 would be 7/10. And we know that 1/10 equals 10%. So if I take 10% times 7, that's 70%. Use the benchmark fraction that will help you find the equivalent percent of the ratio 3/5. So 3/5 comes from 1/5. We could take 1/5 times 3, or 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5. We know that 1/5 equals 20%. So if I take 20% times 3, that's 60%. So 3/5 equals 60%. If 1/4 equals 25%, then 1/8 equals what percent? Show your work, explain. So I modeled 1/4 and 1/8, and I see that 1/8 is half of 1/4. So if I know that 1/4 is 25% and 1/8 is half of it, I just divided it by 2, and I got 12.5. So I explained that 1/8 is half of 1/4. If 1/4 is 25%, I divided 25% by 2, and it equals 12.5%. So 1/8 equals 12.5%. Now we're filling out this table. The fraction 1/8 equals 12.5%, which we found in the first slide. So if we know that 1/8 equals 12.5%, then as we move up the table, it goes up by 1/8, you add another 12.5. However, I want you to note that 1/4 is 25%. 4/8, which is a half, we know is 50%. 6/8, which is 3/4, that's 75%. So these, we actually did not have to add 12.5% to each one. And obviously 1/2 is 100%. So with 1/8, let's say you were asked, what is 3/8? What you could remember is 2/8 is 20, or 1/4 is 25%. So 3/8, I would just have to add 25 plus 12.5 to get 37.5%. If I asked you to find 5/8, we know that 5/8 is really 4/8 plus 1/8. So if we know that 4/8 is 50%, just add 50 plus 12.5 to get 62.5%. 7/8 would be 6/8 plus 1/8. 6/8 is 3/4, which is 75%, plus 12.5, that's 87.5%. So that is another way of getting 7/8. And again, you could always do 12.5 times 7 to get 87.5, but a faster way could be to take the benchmark fraction before it and then add 12.5 to it. And then we know 8/8 is 1/2, which is 100%. "41% of the students at an art college want to be graphic designers. About what fraction of the students want to be graphic designers?" 41% is about 40%, and we know that 40% simplifies 4/10, which equals 2/5. So 41% is about 2/5. And we also know that 1/5 is 20%, so 2/5 would be about 40%. Model the decimal, 1 and 700ths, and write the percent and fraction equivalent. So I shaded 1.07 means 1 whole and 7 out of 100 of the next one. So if you look at 1.07, 1 whole is 100 out of 100 plus 7 over 100. The fraction equivalent is 107 over 100. And then the percent equivalent is 107%. Carl buys songs and downloads them to his computer. The bar graph shows the numbers of each type of song he downloaded last year. What is the total number of songs Carl downloaded last year? So to get this, country, there's 15, rock is 20, classical 5, world is 10. So I added them all up, and that's 50 songs. What fraction of the songs were country, and find the percent equivalent? So if I look at country, there were 15 out of 50 songs. So what percent equivalent would that be? Percent obviously means out of 100, so I multiplied top and bottom by 2. Country is 30%. Now they wanted you to find the fraction and percent equivalent that's rock and classical. So rock, if I look, is 20 out of 50. I simplify that to 2/5, which equals 40%. Now you could memorize that, but we also know that 2/5 comes from 1/5. 1/5 is 20%, so double that is 40%. And then classical, if I look, it's 5 out of 50, which is 1/10. 1/10 is 10%. Feel free to go back and try any of these.